Video lesson prepared by N. Markandeya, lecturer in chemistry, MVS Government Degree College, Mahbub Nagar, Department of Chemistry. So topic is thermodynamics, heat capacity of gases. 7th paper, 6th semester. See here. So in previous class we derived the equation QV is equal to del E, and QP is equal to delta H, del H. That means the constant value, so heat is equal to del E, change of internal energy, at the constant pressure heat Q is equal to the change of enthalpy. So we derived these two in the previous class. See here next relation between delta H and delta E. Delta H and delta E. See, calorific value of many gases, fuels are determined in constant value calorimeters. Thus values are therefore given by expression QV is equal to del E. See here QV is equal to del E. The calorific values of many gases, fuels and determined in constant value calorimeters. These values are therefore given by the expression of QV is equal to del E. Next, when any fuel is burned in the open atmosphere, additional energy of expansion, positive or negative, positive or negative against the atmosphere is also involved. The value of Q thus actually realized, that is QP is equal to delta H, may be different from the equation. Okay, at the QP is equal to the delta H. So against the atmosphere is also involved. The value of Q at constant pressure is equal to the delta H. See here therefore delta H is equal to delta E plus P into del V. We know the first law of thermodynamics at constant pressure QP is equal to delta E plus P into delta V. This is first law of thermodynamics equation. QP is equal to del E plus P into delta V at constant pressure. Here QP is equal to delta H. So delta H is equal to delta E plus P into delta V. So we know the delta H is equal to delta E plus P into delta V equation. So from the first law of thermodynamics equation, mathematical equation of first law. See here, if gases involved in a reaction, they account for most of the volume change, as the volume of solids and liquids are negatively small in comparison. Suppose we have N1 moles of gases before reaction and N2 moles of gases after reaction. Assuming ideal gas behavior, so we have, so see the one reaction A12, A2, this is in the gaseous state, this is also in gaseous state. So this reaction in N1 moles, this reaction in N2 moles. So ideal gas equation PV is equal to nRT. According to PV is equal to nRT equation, we can write PV2 is equal to N2RT, PV1 is equal to N1RT. So from this is first equation, this is first, this is second. We assume this is first, this is second. Next to first minus second, from the first minus second, so we can write PV2 minus PV1 is equal to N2RT minus N1RT. So N2RT minus N1RT. From here P is equal to V2 minus V1 is equal to, here we can take RT, so that means N2 minus N1. We can write here this equation. So from here P into V2 minus V1 is equal to N2 minus N1 RT. From here P into V2 minus V1 is equal to del V, N2 minus N1 is equal to del N, del V into del 1. Therefore P into del V is equal to del N into RT. So this is the equation. Substituting in this equation in equation 1, we can get delta H is equal to, this is the equation number 1. Okay, so this equation we can substitute in the equation 1. We have delta H is equal to delta E plus P into delta V, we can write del N into RT, del N into RT. So this is the relation between delta H and delta E, delta H and delta E. Here delta H is equal to change of enthalpy, delta E is equal to change in internal energy, delta N is equal to difference in number of moles. So that means, so N1 moles of gas before reaction and N2 moles of gas after reaction. That is, so N1 is the reactant, moles of reactant, N2 is the moles of products. So that is the delta N. R is equal to gas constant, T is equal to temperature in degree kelvins. So for example, we can calculate here H2F2 in the gas phase, it will dissociate as H2 gas and F2 gas, H2 gas and F2 gas. Here delta E is equal to minus 14.2 kilocalories per mole at 25 degrees centigrade. Okay, so 25 degree centigrade. Here delta equation we know the, so relation between delta H and delta E, delta H is equal to delta E plus delta nRT. So we can calculate the delta H here, delta H is equal to del E is equal to minus 14.2 kilocalories per mole. Next del N, we know the del N is equal to productive gas minus number of moles product minus number of moles, so reactant. Okay, how many molecules are there in product? 2 molecules. So 2 minus how many moles of reactant in gaseous phase? 1 mole. So 2 minus 1, that is 1. Here delta n is equal to 1. Okay, delta n is equal to molecules in product in gaseous state minus molecules in reactant in gaseous state, that is in products 2 moles of there in gaseous state. So 2 minus 1, that is equal to 1. Del n is equal to here, so 1. So we can substitute del n is equal to 1. R is equal to, so gas constant, that is equal to 1.987, approximately 2 calories. Approximately we can take 2 calories. So and the temperature here 25 degrees centigrade. So this 25 degrees centigrade we can convert into the kelvins. We can add the 273 degrees centigrade. So finally 298 degree kelvins. So we know the all are the parameters. So we can substitute in delta H equation. Delta H is equal to minus 14.2 plus del n is equal to 1 into R is equal to 2 approximately. Here 298. So totally we get 13.6 kilocalories per mole. So like this we can calculate the delta H value for chemical reactions. See the next, heat capacity of gases. Heat capacity is denoted by C. Here the definition of heat capacity is the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of a gas by 1 degree Kelvin, 1 degree centigrade is called the heat capacity of gas. Okay, the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of a gas by 1 degree centigrade is called the heat capacity of gas. For example, so gas heat capacity for initial gas, so heat is 30 degrees centigrade. This 30 degrees centigrade we can increase to 31 degrees centigrade. We can provide the some heat. We can provide the some heat for increasing the 1 degree centigrade. That heat is known as a heat capacity. Okay, the heat capacity of gases are two types. There are CV and CP. That means CV, first take the CV. CV means heat capacity at constant value. This is heat capacity at constant value. So see the first definition of this. The amount of heat required to rise the temperature of gas by 1 degree centigrade at constant value. Is called heat capacities. At a constant value. This is denoted by CV. See here, the amount of heat required to rise the temperature from T1 degree centigrade to T2 degree centigrade of gas is CV into T2 minus T1. So that is equal to CV into delta T. So where it the amount of heat required to rise the temperature from T1 to T2 degrees centigrade of a gas. That means heat at constant volume, that is QV is equal to CV into dt. So QV is equal to the delta E. Q1 is equal to the delta E. So we can substitute in the delta E in place of QV. Del E is equal to CV into delta T. From this we can write CV is equal to delta E by delta T. Delta E by delta T. For small changes we can write CV is equal to dE by dt. dE by dt. So that means at constant volume the heat capacity is equal to the ratio of change of internal energy and change of temperature. Change of internal energy and change of temperature. This is the heat capacity at constant value. So this is very important. We have to remember this. CV is equal to dE by dt. So like that, second one, heat capacity at constant pressure. Heat capacity at constant pressure. So here same, the amount of heat required to rise the temperature of gas from T1 to T2 degrees centigrade at constant pressure is equal to Cp into T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1. So when the temperature rise from T1 to T2 degrees centigrade, so we can require the heat. So is equal to Cp into T2 minus T1. That is equal to the Qp. That means at constant pressure. So we know the Qp is equal to delta H. At constant pressure, heat is equal to the change of enthalpy. Therefore delta H is equal to Cp into delta T. So from here we can write Cp is equal to delta H by delta T. For small changes we can write here Cp is equal to dH by dt. Okay, this is like this. Cv is equal to dE by dt. dE by dt. These two parameters are very important for further derivation. Okay, Cp, that means heat capacity at constant pressure, is equal to the ratio of enthalpy change and temperature change. Cv means heat capacity at constant volume is equal to the ratio of del E and delta T. Del E and delta T. So from this we can derive the relationship between Cp and Cv. So the relation between Cv and Cp, here the volume of enthalpy as per the definition. So we know the equation of enthalpy, H is equal to E plus PV. H is equal to E plus PV. Okay. So this equation is differentiated with respect to temperature. This equation differentiated with respect to temperature, we have here dH by dt is equal to dE by dt plus dE by dt of PV. dt of PV. See here dt of PV. So the ideal gas equation for 1 mole of gas is equal to PV is equal to RT. PV is equal to RT. So these RT is substituted in the place of PV. We can get this equation. dH by dt is equal to dE by dt plus d into RT by dt. So okay, here R is equal to constant. Here R is equal to constant. So from dH by dt is equal to dE by dt plus R into dt by dt. So R into dt by dt is equal to 1. So we can get here Cp is equal to Cv plus R. Cv plus R. So from here Cp minus Cv is equal to R. This is the relation between Cp minus Cv is equal to R. This is the relation between Cp into Cv. Okay, Cp means, so heat capacity at constant pressure. Cv is equal to heat capacity at constant value. R is equal to rate constant. R is equal to rate constant. These are the relation between these three. Next, see the Joule-Thomson effect. Joule-Thomson effect. This is the adiabatic experiment. So see the definition of Joule-Thomson effect. Joule-Thomson effect. See here, when gas is allowed to expand adiabatically from region of high pressure to a region of low pressure, it is accompanied by cooling. It is accompanied by cooling. This phenomena is known as a Joule-Thomson effect. Joule-Thomson effect. Okay, when gas is allowed to expand from high pressure region to low pressure region, then the gas will take place cooling. Then gas will take place cooling. This phenomena is known as a Joule-Thomson effect, because for the expansion the gas required some energy. That energy it will utilized in the itself also. It is utilized itself also. So the internal energy decreases. So the internal energy decreases. Then the gas will be cooling. The gas will be cooling. So okay, here for this experiment we have some diagram. See this diagram. So in a insulated tube is fitted with a force plug in the middle. See here, this is the force plug. This is the insulated tube is fitted with a force plug in the middle, and two frictionless pistons A and B on the sides. Here see, one piston P1 is there, A piston, and here B pistons are there on the sides. Let a volume V1 of a gas, the volume V1 of a gas at pressure P1 be forced through the force plug by a slow movement of piston A. Slow movement of piston A. So we can push the piston A against the P1 pressure. So the gas through force plug it will allow to the right side. Then the volume decreases is V1. Okay, the gas in the through the force plug by a slow movement of piston A, the gas in the right hand chamber is allowed to expand to volume V2, and pressure P2 by moving the piston B outside. So here piston is inside, So by this, here gas is compressed, the volume decreased V1. So here the piston expanded, the volume is V2. Again next the P2 pressure. Okay, here in the left side direction, in this part, work done on the system or the gas on the left hand side is so minus P1 V1, minus P1 V1. That means here the volume is decreased. This minus is indicated the decreases of the volume. And the next, work done by the gas. Work done by the gas on the right side is P2 V2. P2 V2. Therefore, that means we know the equation for the pressure P is equal W is equal to P into del V. So here in left side, pressure P1, change of volume is V1. If the volume decreases, it is indicated minus. In the right side, W is equal to P into del V. Here pressure is equal to constant P2. Change of volume is equal to V2. Okay, these are the, so total work done in the process is equal to, so W is equal to P2 V2 minus P1 V1, P2 V2 minus P1 V1. At first law, Q is equal to del E plus W is equal to, this is the first law of the thermodynamics. But the process is adiabatic. Therefore, Q is equal to 0. This Joule-Thomson effect is done in the adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, Q is equal to 0. Therefore, first law will change like this. Del E is equal to minus W. From this, del E is equal to minus of W is equal to P2 P1 minus P1 V1. Del E is equal to E2 minus E1 is equal to minus P2 V2 plus P1 V1. From here, so P2 V2 move right side and E1 move left side. Then this will be formed E2 plus P2 V2. Here V1 plus P1 V1. Here according to H is equal to E plus PV is equal to enthalpy equation. So according to that, E2 plus P2 V2 is equal to the H2 and E1 plus P1 V1 is equal to the H1. Therefore H2 minus H1 is equal to 0. Therefore delta H is equal to 0. So this is the Joule-Thomson effect. That means adiabatically expansion of a gas takes place at constant enthalpy. Next, thus the work done during the expansion of the gas under adiabatic condition is at the expansion of the internal energy, hence the temperature of the gas decreases. Okay, so this is the Joule-Thomson effect. Okay, so the work done during the expansion of the gas under adiabatic condition is at the expense of the internal energy. Here internal energy utilized for the adiabatic expansion. Hence the temperature of gas decreases. Then gas will be cooling. So in the experimental part, delta H is equal to 0. So in the definition of this, so of the Joule-Thomson effect, when a gas is allowed to expand adiabatically from a high pressure region to low pressure region, So it is accompanied by cooling. This phenomena is known as a Joule-Thomson effect. So why this gas will be cooling? So in this, during the expansion of the gas under adiabatic condition is at the expensive of, it is utilization of the internal energy. Hence the temperature of gas is decreases, then gas will be in cooled. Okay, this is the Joule-Thomson effect. So okay, this is the operator explained by the used by the explaining the Joule-Thomson effect. So it is, this is a insulated tube. It is fitted with a porous plug. So two pistons are there, one A piston and B piston. So P1 pressure is always greater than the P2 pressure. P1 pressure is always greater than the P2 pressure. So when piston A is pushed against the P1 pressure, the volume decreases is V1. In this compression, the work done by the gas is, the work done on the gas is W1 is equal to minus P1 V1. So this gas is poured through the P2, expand against the P2 pressure is V2. So in this, work done by the gas is equal to W2 is equal to P2 V2. So total work done in the system, so W is equal to W1 plus W2. W1 is right side, left side work, W2 is the right side work. From this, W is equal to P2 V2 minus P1 V1. So next, heat capacity of gases. Heat capacity of gases. Two types of heat capacities are there. One, it's Cp and Cv. Cp is equal to heat capacity at constant value. So this is equal to the Cv is equal to the dE by dt. dE by dt. The ratio of internal energy change and temperature change. Next, second one is the heat capacity at constant pressure. So that is Cp is equal to the delta H by dt, dH by dt. So from these we can derive the relation between the, so Cp minus Cv is equal to R by taking enthalpy equation, H is equal to E plus PV. This enthalpy is equal to E plus PV equation. So derived with respect to the temperature, we can get the, so Cp minus Cv is equal to R equation. Okay, next, so relation between delta H and delta E. The relation between delta H and delta E is equal to delta H is equal to delta E plus delta N into RT. Here delta N is equal to, so difference between the product, number of moles in product, number of moles of product minus number of moles of reactant in gaseous state, in only in gaseous state. So from this is the relation. So see for an example, see the example for this delta H, H2F2 gas in the gaseous state dissociate as a H2 gas and F2 gas. Here delta N is equal to N2 minus N1. In product side 2 moles are there, in reactant side 1 mole is there. Total delta N is equal to 1. Delta N is equal to 1. So these are the heat capacities under the Joule-Thomson effect. This Joule-Thomson effect under adiabatic expansion. This Joule-Thomson effect is known as a adiabatic expansion. In adiabatic expansion, gas will be cooled. Gas will be cooled. So okay, this is the, thank you.